Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics of all time, spirituality, which is so much fun. So let's get into it. I want to talk about spirituality and religion today, and I apologize for the raindrop sounds in the background. It is pouring rain here where I am, and you can hear it. And let's just keep it as ambient sound to relax into this phenomenal teaching that I'm about to get into. So, I have been blessed to have so many wonderful spiritual teachers in my life. I know spirituality is subjective and there's a lot of sensitivity around the subject, but I think it's time for somebody to just share their own beliefs, their own system of what they believe about spirituality. And that's what I'm going to do today. I feel like I have a very unique opportunity. Obviously, I've had a lot of spiritual teachers that were wonderful, and I want to pass that along to somebody else. Now, take from this what you like, get rid of what you don't like. My goal with this training about spirituality is, again, getting back to those 6 core needs. And a lot of times people get confused with the spirituality part, and I just want to give some guidance, some insights. I want to help you change your mind or open your mind to something new, because by tapping into this core need, you're going to feel wonderful. It's going to change everything for you. And I think it's fundamental to everything that we do when it comes to quitting porn, quitting masturbation, and many other things in life. So I think you'll find this interesting. Bear with me during this training. Let's just have an open mind and see where it goes. And I do apologize, I'm a little bit sick today too, so let's just do our best. Spirituality, here's a quote from Buddha. Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, humanity cannot live without spirituality. And here's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover a really interesting story from a scientific point of view about the Big Bang. We're going to talk about what is spirituality, what are spiritual and religious benefits, my thoughts on spirituality and religion, and the things to do and the actions you can take, whether you believe in any of this or not. They are actions you can definitely apply, which will improve your life and help you with this goal. So here we go. Here's the story. This is from a book by Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the world's greatest minds, scientific minds, and you may want to check out his book for yourself. It's so interesting, it's so scientific, and it's nice to just read something that's not self-improvement, not business, which is what I usually read. And it really opens your mind to like what else is out there in the world. And in the book, he shares a story about how the galaxy, our universe, started. And science has proven something very interesting. They have insane scientific methods of figuring things out, and they have figured out, scientifically proven, that at one time in the very beginning, our entire universe was smaller than the period, the dot that you see at the end of this sentence. That tiny little dot. Smaller than that dot. This entire universe, everything that is today, has been scientifically proven to have started from a point no bigger than a decimal. How insane is that they could figure this out scientifically? Read more about it in the book. This is a scientific fact. It's not made up. It is pure science that this universe was once the size of a dot. Isn't that insane? If you would have told me that and it wasn't a scientist that told me that, I'd say, yeah, you're insane. I do not believe you. Seeing is believing. I don't believe it. But science has proven it, so we got to go with what science says sometimes, right? Here's the thing. They know that the universe was once a dot, but what they don't know, and he says this in the book, what scientists still don't understand and can still not figure out, is what came before the dot. What was the universe before it was a dot? They know it was once that small. And what's interesting is within a few seconds, it exploded into the Big Bang that within milliseconds spread across the galaxy like a giant explosion to what we have now. And this all happened in a matter of seconds in human time, in our time. They have scientifically seen this. That's how enormous this explosion was. Now, read the book and get the details from the scientific point of view, but that's the gist of it. The gist is that this miracle of existence and creation has happened, and there's this mystery that nobody can explain, not even scientists, of what came before the dot. So there's always been like this mystery, and this is where the spirituality part kicks in for me, and it's a little bit about having faith or having just a belief that there's something more than what maybe human minds and science can explain. And I love that idea. It's so liberating and freeing, and it's like, wow, we don't have all the answers. There's still mystery, and I love that. So let's dive a little bit more into this. So this is where we are today after the Big Bang, right? Many, many, many years later, and it is just awe-inspiring. Sometimes what I do is I just look up at the stars, and it helps me forget everything that I know, everything that is of my limited mind, my limited understanding, my selfish experience. I think I see through my eyes, you see through your eyes, and it feels like this is it. As far as your eye can see, that's it. That's where the world ends, it feels like, right? But what spirituality to me is when you let go of that and you realize, like, holy crap, there's just so much more. It's so expansive. So let's jump into this. What is spirituality and why is it important? Spirituality is a vast and expansive phenomena that's like an ocean spread across the universe. It is everything and nothing, ancient, transcendent, beyond all human limitation, yet it is felt. We can see and feel glimpses of this mysterious force. Virtues like love, kindness, honor, courage. A stream of which has been distilled and channeled by humanity as a set of concepts, beliefs, principles, philosophies, and disciplines that aims to advance civilization and help it reach its greatest potential. It has been bottled up into an organized system that's digestible and labeled as religion. For example, Christianity, Muslim, Buddhist, Baha'i, Hinduism, etc. So what I'm really trying to get at with my understanding of spirituality is it's actually something that's so far beyond any mortal recognition or understanding, but we can sort of digest little bits of it, and that's where we all are at as a human species. And that's where these religions and whatnot come into play, is that they are taking this vast, huge phenomenon and bottling it in such a way that we can actually consume. So my beliefs is this all comes from one common source, namely that one ultimate creative force responsible for the phenomenon of the universe. That force that many call God, or a creator, or a higher power, a force that's beyond the comprehension of mere mortals. At the end of the day, all of this is just something we drink to nourish our existence and thrive. So why is this important? Well, if you think about it in the context of this goal, quitting porn, quitting masturbation, many spiritual teachers, very wise individuals, have suggested that a pure mind, a kind heart, and a chaste/pure eye is essential to spiritual growth. So I want to talk about spiritual benefits here. What is the benefit of tapping into this kind of vast spiritual force? Well, for one, it's life fuel. It nourishes you and it satisfies you and helps us grow. And if you think about how we all have this void inside of us that we're trying to fill with things like materialism and all this different stuff, junk, porn, you name it, we're filling the void. Well, what if, and this is what some have quoted, that we are spiritual beings going through a human existence. What if we could satisfy that deepest hunger, which is our spirituality, tapping into that spiritual force. So that's why one of the biggest benefits of spirituality is, it fills us up, it gives us purpose, and it transcends space and time. So many spiritual teachers and educators have said that this material plane that we are on is just like a small fraction of like what else there is out there. So what are the benefits of religion? Now, I said that like basically spirituality is so vast beyond human capacity to like digest. So what happens is these religions come along and they systematically help us navigate and digest this spirituality, this vast force. Religions offer us direction, offers us rituals, practices, actions to tap into this spiritual world. It also offers us a moral compass. It allows us to grow. It gives us a sense of purpose and community. So it's really man-made, almost like, not man-made, but digestible systems that we humans can actually practically use. Because it would be like, trying to access the sun as a regular human being trying to access the sun, we would just burn up and get obliterated. But the rays of the sun going through the atmosphere, getting diluted, then we can manage to feel a little bit of that. But if we went right to the source of it, we might just explode. And I feel like, in my opinion, that's kind of where religion comes in, is it allows us this like atmosphere where we don't just like explode because it's like so unattainable, right? So here's a quote. Everyone has a religion, whether they know it or not. In North America, it's predominantly materialism. So all religion really is, it's a set of beliefs, principles, and practices that individuals follow to tap into spirituality. And believe it or not, right now in North America, the predominant religion is materialism. We worship, the Kardashians or like these pop stars, and everybody's on a rat race for more material goods. And our practices and our rituals are all about getting more material, accelerating materially. So like the religion is really materialism out here in North America. In other parts of the world, it's totally different. And again, the word religion has so much to it, right? I mean, we see the negatives, we see the positives. Most people have a very negative connotation when it comes to religion, but I want you to think about none of that. Just open your mind more to spirituality, and religion is a vehicle to tap into spirituality. And not all vehicles are going to work for you, and there is no right or wrong vehicle. You just got to find the one that is the most relevant to you and that works. So my thoughts is, you don't need a gym to get fit, and you don't need a trainer or a personal trainer to get in shape. But if you join a gym and you get a personal trainer, you're going to shortcut your success. You're going to be able to get healthier quicker, right? So that's always something that I always tell my friends and people who ask me like, oh, well, you don't need religion to be spiritual. And I would argue that, no, you don't. You could still be spiritual, but you're going to be so much more effective if you actually join a gym and you train and you have a system and you have something practical and tangible that you can work towards. You could stack on weights. There's just so much more that can happen for you if you actually get inside an institution. And it doesn't have to control you or run your life. It's just simply a place where you train and you practice, right? So religion should be a source of unity and of learning and of growth, and not of destruction, of violence, and all the things that we've come to know many religions. And I wouldn't blame the religions, I would blame the people that we have seen today. So my personal belief on all this is spirituality, religion, all of this stuff is amazing. It's really good for us. It can help us grow faster than anything else. But with that, we have to be careful that we're not following the people, but we're actually focusing more on the teachings and the good stuff. So never underestimate the power of a system, a blueprint, and a clear roadmap. If somebody's able to show you that, take advantage of it and shortcut your development, your growth, whatever that you decide is important to you. So here are some things to do to really boost your spiritual core need. Remove biases. Open your mind and consume the teachings of wiser individuals. And there are so many phenomenal teachers in the world, past and present, over the last 10,000 years. And one of the things that I've taken a lot of pride in my life is studying all these different religions and teachings from these different teachers. And I absolutely love it. Join a few spiritual communities and find what resonates with you. Kind of like trying out different gyms. You like some just are not for you, some are really good, and then you find one, if you search long enough, that you absolutely love and helps you benefit. Take the good, grow, and help others. At the end of the day, that's what it is all about. Create your own daily spiritual ritual. Whether it's prayer, meditation. When you join a spiritual community, a lot of times they'll have some sort of practice that you can do on a daily basis. And this all helps us tap into that vast spiritual force, which helps us grow and nurtures us and fills us and satisfies us. And when we're doing that, we quickly lose the need and dependency on temporal things like porn or simply materialism in general. So in summary, I gave you that story of the Big Bang and how, it's not, all the science in the world can't explain what happened before the Big Bang. And that leaves a little room for, okay, well, maybe there is something more. So my intention with that is to help you open your mind to, hey, maybe there is more than what we know. The other thing is we talked about what is spirituality, in my humble opinion, and also the importance of why it's important for this goal. Because many smart spiritual teachers have encouraged us to practice what we're doing right now, which is developing a pure mind, a pure eye, purity of thought, purity of heart. When we eradicate porn, this is something that really works. And something that I don't really talk about very often is the fact that because I believe so much in these spiritual teachers and the education that they have given us, I have gotten to a point where I realize the default is what they recommend. The default is that we shouldn't live a life of porn, of material chasing. All this stuff is harmful to us and not beneficial to us. And as you've learned, if you're in this training right now, you've learned that using porn has debilitated you big time, and it's taken away from all the beauty and wonder that you can experience in your life. Well, I know that's true for me, at least. So I trust spiritual teachers, and I've spent enough time kind of investigating and trying out different things, and I love all religions. I love all spiritual teachers, and I really trust what they say. So when they say things like, abstain from porn or things like that. They don't say abstain from porn, but they say there's a lot of spiritual teachings about sexuality and having a pure mind, a pure heart, pure eye, being trustworthy, all these qualities that are so attractive. They have thousands of years ago encouraged mankind to pursue that, and we just don't listen. So funny, right? And basically I gave you my thoughts. I gave you some actions of things that you can do right away. And what I want you to do is, if you have any spiritual questions, because I just love the topic of spirituality, and there's so much to it. If you have any questions or you want to have more spiritual discussion, I'm happy to talk with you and chat more about spirituality. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love hearing other people's thoughts and opinions, and I love sharing mine. So I look forward to that. So last but not least, I hope you enjoyed this training. I am giving away a freebie where I give away 150 things to do instead of porn and masturbation. If you want access to that freebie, just click on the link below. And that's it for today. I hope I covered a really deep topic that's been around for 10,000 years. And here, this guy has the audacity to share his opinion on the matter. And I really appreciate you sticking around and listening to that. So All right, guys, that's it. I hope this was educational, informative. Work on your spiritual core, whatever that means to you. And I look forward to training with you on the next video.